Good morning, everybody. How are you all doing? Happy Tuesday. Nice long weekend. Hopefully you all had time to rest and recover. I know I did. So it's nice to have a bit of a shorter week. And gold seems to be rallying. But yeah, breaking down the NQ, I've only really got one sort of drawing on my screen at the moment now. I've already taken a short this morning, and most of you are already aware of that short. If you're watching the video, you're most likely in the trading room. But if you are watching this on YouTube for whatever reason, there was two shorts that I was looking at. I got stopped out on the first one for I actually don't even know. It was like 15 points, maybe even less. But the same idea we were looking at, and I actually took a long first today, which was the morning trade, which was, you can see on here, I was long at 145s. The reason for that long is most of you probably know, but that is where the ETH ATR low was, 136s, and I was pretty much trying to just bid above that, as you can see on the previous photo here. So 145s, I just really wanted to see the base. I was already long on some other accounts where I got stopped out slightly before, and then gave some fresh accounts the same entry or better entry and got the trade on the breakout, and we never even came to revisit that low. So pretty much just went straight away, which is what you want to see. Like, it wants to go straight away, and that is an example of basically being right away. So that's really good. And then the short that I've taken already some off. I did say to everyone, trying the short again here. This is when we were trading 240s. I think I was even short a little bit on the lows because I thought I had missed it. And I added on the halfway back, which was at 253s. I said perfect short here. That was when we were literally trading what would be the actual break and the retest and the inversion of the 50. So this would be this is the break, and then it break down the retest of that 50 inside a higher time frame, sort of halfway back, which is for me really, really nice. Risk is at the 61.8, which is perfect for this play. Moved some of my stop to 285s, which meant I was risking much less. So the 62 was at on the micro, it was at 260s, and might mean in the micro extension from the smaller time frame, but the wider halfway back, that 62 was at 308s. But because we I'll show you the chart in a second, but because we rejected with an ATR down, as you'll see in a second, I moved my stop down to 287s, which was basically just above the previous highs to the left. And yeah, that was the move that I was looking for. And if we look at the charts now, you'll be able to see we are basically up in that area still. So the drawings, if I just remove everything, if I remove all the indicators for now, the reason I'm drawing this halfway back, and the reason I feel like on average this will trade, of course we don't know every single trade outcome, but we know with a high likelihood what's going to happen next, with a certain likelihood. And again, that could be 60%, that could be 40%. It really depends on what your risk to reward is. But for me, this initial trade actually had a 1-to-1 risk to reward. It's got better because the trade is now working. So gun to my head, if I had the best entry in the world, I would have shorted aggressively at the first 50, which is what I did. Just to show you, my first entry was that halfway back where I initially got stopped out. I was shorting into that after taking out my long. The reason I took it off is because I wanted to see it stall, and it didn't really stall. It kind of carried on. Then we had the confirmation down, and I was thinking, right, okay, if we get a pullback into a halfway back, I'm going to take that. And that's exactly what I did. And I feel like if you have a plan and you don't execute that plan, then the plan's meaningless. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to let my dog outside. I'm back. So having a plan and not executing that plan is in my opinion just detrimental to your overall performance, and it's useless to have a plan and not to use it. So I went back in with a short on the halfway back. I've already taken some of my position off, as I shared in the room. I've got 2 micros left, and I am going to try to see if we can come down to what my original target was, which is 150s. Now 150s makes this trade into a 3R trade. Now, It's even higher for me because I'm not even going to be risking the 308s. I'm probably just going to be risking what I said before, which was 287s, 288. So this is now a 6R trade. The higher the risk to reward goes, I would say the less likely it is to complete. But the only target I have is going to be that 4-hour low, which if we put the indicators on, you can see that pretty much lines up with where I've just drawn this completion to. Now, am I saying it's going to hit every single time? No, we've already traded the 4-hour low on the previous session, which is where we came down into the support at the ETH low. But I don't really have anything else to draw. And if we just have a look at the micro extension of that short, which is what I first drew after here, that halfway back, which is what we're in now, does take us into those completions. So just from a pure mechanical robotic point of view, like take the short, have your completions, have your stop. And that is literally as simple as I'm going to make it. And again, not every single trade's going to win, but this is all I have. So basically, I want this short to come down. As I said on stream on Friday and many other occasions, sometimes I have a plan in the morning where I'm expecting price to come down to a level that I would like to bid long. And sometimes I'm like, well, why can't I short that level? Well, not every single time there's a setup for me to short. Like there isn't always a halfway back and there isn't always a greater, higher time frame short bias. Today, this week, last week, this last month, there has been. So I can take the short going into the open today because everything is ticked off on my box. So I don't mind, again, even if 4 times out of 10 I'm wrong on this setup, because I know 6 out of 10 times, if not higher, this setup is going to pay more than what it loses. So again, I will take the short. I'm already in the short, but I'm taking the short anticipating the support down here to trade, because at this point, that is where I would actually take a long. Similar to what I did this morning, if you guys were in the room earlier, I took my long trade and then shortly after I was then anticipating the shorts, which is what I mean now. So essentially, if you're a good trader and you have a good enough system, there's no reason why you should always have 2 trades. As soon as you exit a long, there should always be kind of a valid short. And this is what I'm trying to retrain myself. You should be such a good trader that when you exit a long, there is a short. When you exit a short, there is a long. So that's what I'm trying to train myself to do. And that's why I feel like this, if this plays out, this is both a short and also therefore after a long. So that's my rationale. That's my game plan going into today. If this halfway back fails and we just trade higher, I'll let the members know in the room what I'm doing. But as of now, I don't really have anything worthwhile trading. If you've been here for a while, you'll probably know I'd like to see us back above the ETH dynamic trend line, which lines up with the 61 of this draw and also the 4-hour high. So if we start trading above that area, it's probably going to be from now till 10 a.m. After that 10 a.m., we'll have a lot more range from the 4-hour to be able to decide what we're going to do. But we've already traded the ETH ATR low. That ETH ATR high is at 25 430s. If you're in the room, I'll let you know how likely that is to trade after already trading the ETH low today. Other than that, if you are watching this on YouTube, make sure to click the link in the description below if you want to join and watch me trade and see everyone else in the room. Other than that, everyone on Whoop, I will go live and I'll start